Basically, it comes in a box like this. Okay. I guess you can see it now. And another box is inside of that box. And it would come with a few things. This is the computer by Lenovo. Notice the size of my hand. I can almost cover it up. And let me see. I guess I showed you earlier, but you didn't see it. There's a pencil right there, or a pen, and the size of the computer. This is a full Windows 10 PC. Has, I think, 64 gigs of memory on it, actually, 32 or 64. It comes with a power supply, that uses a standard Android type connection. It comes with that cable, which is, regular cable, USB on one side, and Android on the other side. Now, the cool part is, it doesn't have to use this power supply. You literally can plug this thing into the TV if it had USB capability, and it would power the computer as long as the TV doesn't turn off or the USB doesn't turn off. Some TVs USB don't turn off. All right, it also comes with an adapter. This adapter allows the Lenovo, let me show you when you take the little cap off. This goes to the HDMI. It goes in here like this and allows you to plug that into your computer, into your TV, so that it doesn't stick out of the TV. It can hang down or however you want to hang it, which allows it to sit in a little adapter, a little holder like this. Okay, see that? It has like sticky back tape on the back. You stick it on the back of the TV, and then this will just fit inside of that like that. And I don't know if I want to do it, but it slides in there like this, and it just sits, behind the TV, so it has like its own little stand. Okay, that's all hidden, from the public. All right, so you got that, and let's look at this wire. I already took the cap off of it, so you see the HDMI. Here is the micro SD port right there, and that's a vent for the fan. There is a fan inside of it that literally turns on every now and then when it gets warm. I'll turn around. It has a HDMI right there, and let's see what we got here. All right, we have the power on switch right here. Move my hand like this, and move a little closer. You have the power supply area. This is the sort of Android type connection, any Android type, connection. And then the USB. Now, what we do with the USB is we put this little wireless keyboard adapter, plug this in here. Let's see how we do that. Okay. So there you go. So now what you have is a setup ready to go. It has a keyboard adapter on it right here. And you can just plug that in using the cable that's supplied, so it doesn't hang out the side of the TV. You could mount it and wouldn't be able to knock it off or whatever. And now, you have the keyboard that once you turn the power on, you can go ahead and set it up to your Wi-Fi system, and then you don't need the keyboard anymore. So once it's set up, you can just take the keyboard away and take the dongle out and use it for your next system. That's what I do. I just take it around and go from system to system. Okay. That's basically it on the hardware. That's the small one. That's the one we promote all the time now because it's pretty cheap. It's only $200, and you're in business basically. You just got to have your own TV. Let me close all this stuff up. Okay. Now I don't think you need to see me anymore, so I'm gonna turn my cam off and go and fire the software up manually. So what's going to happen is you're going to see this on the screen right here. All right, it's going to be this little start thing right here. Says will auto start in 30 seconds. So the best thing to do is just sit there and let that wait, because actually in this mode it's actually going and getting the latest version of the software at that point. Once it has it, it fires it up. And notice my screen won't be full size because I'm on my laptop. It's not set up for this right now, but it will run on anything. So I'm going to leave it in its little corner. All right, so the first thing it does, it comes up, it connects to the server, and each server is set up for its own ad server. Now it's going to read right now what size it should be. And notice it resized a little bit. It thinks it's on a system that's set up like this, but I'm on my notebook with higher resolution. Okay, so while we're looking at it, you're looking at a live system. Nothing's on it, of course. I think I got some fake ads in there. But what you'll see, and I don't have my mouse turned on because I don't want to. Well, maybe I can. Oh, yeah, here. There we go. So this area right here is what's called the display area. This area is called the, what is it called? The sponsor area, okay? And you don't have to have that sponsor area turned on. It could be full screen or split. Now, I'll tell you why it's pretty good to have it split and how we use it, all right? So first I'm going to go over to areas. This here is a static area. We use it for branding. For instance, if your sponsor of this system is, let's say, I don't know, Nissan or somebody, and you'd probably put here, sponsored by Nissan. And that way they get their little, their name there permanently. We also put their ads in here on the sponsor side permanently, as many as they want up in here, up to 50. You can hold 50, but that would be stupid to have that many, but you can hold up to 50 on this side and 1,000 in this area. We also throw a few of their ads in here. So the sponsor of the system, which is basically your first advertiser, is really paying for your whole entire system. That's sort of how it works. That's why we have the sponsor area. And, you're going to bill that guy for basically a year's worth of advertisement one time, or for that year, and it really pays for your whole thing. That way these systems can get proliferated for free, basically, from your sponsor. And then this area here becomes the ads just selling, to the regular advertisers, day-to-day advertisers, even though that sponsor ad is running all the time. Next area under here is the scrolling area. We use the scrolling area for basically a call to action, like what this is saying right now. We would normally say, to get your ad in here, call this or text this number or whatever. You could very well flip it around and keep the permanent at the top and have the sponsor's name down at the bottom. Some people we know use the sponsor area for more than one sponsor. So they might put 4 or 5 sponsors over there, and they have their ads over there permanently. And then the scrolling area just says, here are our sponsors, and it just scrolls the sponsors' names continuously. And the top area where it says publish your branding here, it says something like, call here to advertise or something like that. So it just depends on how you do it. This other area over here where it has the time. Now I'm playing with this area now. Right now it has time. It also can handle streaming audio, which is through Shoutcast. But a lot of people don't know how to use that very well, and it's difficult for them to find a nice radio station they want to use for ambient radio. Basically, this system will provide ambient radio for the location with no cost to them. But I'm going to probably convert that to another thing. Now, what you're looking at right now is 10 ads just went through, okay? And after 10 ads, it's going to randomly show whatever video that might be inside the system. Notice it pulled that video, and that video is going to be probably about 5 minutes long or so. And I cannot stop it at the moment because it's actually taking over my machine at this moment. So while it's going, you can see what it is. You can see it's smooth, and this is actually being streamed through YouTube. Notice there's no advertisement coming up on it because I wrote software to peel the advertisements out for the main part. Don't tell anybody. But this is what we do. If we sell a video advertisement on the system, that's a double way to make money, basically. You can go make the video yourself, or have them make the video, or have them give you a video URL on a YouTube channel of their own, and I'll show you how to make an ad that we upload to the system, because it really doesn't upload videos. All we're doing is uploading ads, and those ads are telling the system that when you see an ad that looks like it has these special characters in it, it really needs to go pull a video from YouTube. Okay? Now notice it's smooth, and everything's still going. Now also, while you're looking at this, look at the fact that The sponsored ads are always running. That's why they're so important. That's why they're sold like they are. Because no matter what's running in the other area, in this area here, okay, no matter what, this is called our display area. No matter what's running here, the sponsored area is always in display, okay? And I think we got a few seconds more for this to go. And what it'll do, it will come out of the video mode and go back to the randomized static ads. So it's already set up that way, and there's other kind of ads you can put in. Watch this. All right, so once that's done, and you can specify how much time it's going to play, it'll take itself back to its static system. Let's sit and watch for a second. And should be back now to the other system. Notice how it switched gears here for a minute. And it's programmed right now for every 15 seconds. It's going to change its static ads. There you go to the next one. Okay? Now what I've done is I've made static advertisements. Well, you have to do this anyway. For every video advertisement in, there's a static version of itself. Okay? So this is just showing you that just passed that there is another video in there that's going to play. And, you basically get double advertisement for your money. Okay? Let me go ahead and click in so I can get out of here. So just by right mouse or left mouse clicking and clicking the area, you can take yourself back to your desktop. And you can just restart it right here if you wanted to. If you wanted, we're just starting to play with the system. Basically, the system takes two types of files. It takes in the sponsor area, it takes GIF files, which if we were to look at the system, let's say we go to the system. This is the website where you go and control the system, basically. So you'd have your own account, per se. That's my account. You see my little face on it. Look, it's all designed almost like an image gallery, so it makes it very simple. All right, so that's my account. I have multiple machines in my account. I'm going to go to the machine I'm using now, System 5. I click on System 5, and that's the display area, and notice those are the ads you were seeing going back and forth. Notice they're still just pictures. If I click on one of these, I can make it bigger. You see it's just a picture, okay? Now, there's two spaces inside there. So that System 5 also has a sponsor area to it. So I go over one. There's a sponsor area 5. I click that, and those are those tower ads inside there. Now, the tower ads take GIF files. I did that on purpose so that the system, it makes it easier for me to know what's in the system, per se. Also some tricks I'm doing. So that sponsor area takes the GIFs, and the display area takes JPEGs, okay? Now, inside those JPEGs area, they can handle static ads, which are just pictures. And the way you name those pictures, depending on how they're named, they do stuff. It's like programming within programming. For instance, this is just named frog ad. Okay, frog ad here. Doesn't mean anything. Notice that some of them have a little prefix on them. This one says P underscore. This one says the V underscore, as in Victor. Okay, the P underscore, all that means is there's a couple different codes I use in there for like public domain or PSAs basically, and non-profit, different things like that. And I use those letters for you so you can track your own stuff. And also that when it's running, it'll take that character and put it on the screen so that if you're running this in a location you're sharing revenue, that your person that's also looking at the screen doesn't say, hey, there's ads in here and I should be getting paid. Well, if you put an ad in there that's a PSA or something that you've done for free, you want to there should be something to let that person know that these ads are not paid ads. So that's what I did with those. So it helps the people who are using this and making money and sharing their income with the location to not be accosted by the person saying you got a lot of ads and I'm not getting paid. Okay? Next, you have other types of ads. In this case, this is a V underscore. V underscore is basically a random video. So these are random ads, and these static ads, and these are random video ads. These random video ads are real easy to create. They're just basically a photograph or picture, however you want to make it. And then you take the first, well, of course your name would be underscore. You take those 11 digits that is the ID for YouTube, and underscore, and then the minutes, followed by a dash, and the seconds for how long that video is going to play from start to finish. Okay? Notice it can go up to 99 hours and 99 seconds, which doesn't exist. So it'll go 99 hours and 60 seconds per se, which is crazy. So, but it's telling you is you can do random videos that are like movies if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't do that. These are actually longer than I normally would do. I would only do like 60 second, 30 second, 15 second kind of stuff in the random area, maybe 15 seconds. Now, there's other ones that are programmed just like television. We call that billboard TV. They start with an H. H underscore, and then it was actually a little more complicated. Now, let me go and look at that because it can specify the day and the time that ad will actually show. That video will actually show, just like a television channel or a television show that's pre-programmed. So if you go to the website, you'll notice under Help, I have something called, let me see, Ad Types. And under Ad Types, I actually show what all those numbers and letters and all that kind of stuff stand for. So, you have a U. The U underscore will actually tell an ad, a static ad, to only stay on the screen for up to these many seconds, which could make it, I think it can go down from 5 seconds to 60 seconds. So you can make an ad stay on the screen longer, okay? It's a static ad. Like I say, you got other things like T's are just for temporary ads or trial ads. We use trials all the time to get people in the system. As a matter of fact, while I'm here talking about the T, what we do is we put like a fishbowl at a location and put on the fishbowl saying that insert your business card for a 1 week trial. That's how we know it's a trial. So we go there every couple of days, pick up the business cards. We scan the business cards in on a regular cheap $99 scanner, all-in-one scanner, printer scanner. Scan it at 300 DPI, and it's just about the right ratio by design to go into the system as an ad. Now, that's a pretty ugly ad, okay? So, but it's done that way on purpose because you're giving it away for free. Now, once that trial period is over, then you use the system to market to get real paid ads. And you can do that by email. You never even have to call the person. So that's how we sort of get ads in the system without even knocking door to door or calling to somebody's telephone. All right, so anyway, the V, notice there's a V, and I'll show you how to set up a V, which is a random video ad. But then the one that's a little complicated is the H. Now, H underscore allows you to specify the month, day, and year, the hour, minute, and second, and AM or PM for when it's going to actually activate that video, which is the next 11 characters, and run for how long. Notice that this system will run for hours, minutes, and seconds, where the other one runs for minutes and seconds only. Okay, so this can run, like I said, 99 hours. 99 hours, 60 seconds, 60 minutes and 60 seconds. So almost 100 hours, which is ridiculous. But all that's telling you is that you can run a full video. Let's say you wanted to run something at 5 o'clock, like a real show. You could literally do that, every day at 5 o'clock, whatever it is. If you look down here, I have one set up. This one's going to run December 25th, 2013, even though it never happened. That's how long ago I put this in here. It's going to run at 5:30 p.m. This video for 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Okay? It could very well be a movie. It could be whatever you want. As long as it's on YouTube, because we're streaming, we're sort of robbing using their free bandwidth to our advantage. Okay? I got to sneeze. Woo! Sorry. All right. Next, we have some other, prefixes. They don't do anything per se, but I just put them in there for your own benefit, so that you can put things in the system without getting paid for it, or at least let people know that these are not paid for ads or something for yourself. Okay? And there's something called the desktop control panel software. Okay? This software you would download and install, and that just stays with your with your system at home. It doesn't go on your ad server. And what it's used for is to set up each one of your machines. Okay? So in this case, let's say I wanted to set up my master system. This is number 5. So I would go ahead and log in here. And I know the user is master on this one. And once I connect this folder set, I can go ahead and pick the machine I want to deal with. I want to deal with number 5. I have to synchronize that system. And what it's going to do is it's going to go out and get the ads that system would be running. Okay? And it'll be done in a second. You'll see it's downloading right here, and it'll tell you when download's complete. All right, so it's download's complete now. Notice these are the ads right here. If I click on one, I can see them in a little window, same way they would work out in the field. If they don't show up in here, they're not going to work out there. Even the video, if I click on that video ad, the V underscore, it should try to play in this little window. And sure it does. Sure enough, it does. Now, I do have control here. I can stop it and then check my other one out, make sure they're all working, all that kind of stuff, okay? I can check the GIF files over here. If I click on one of those, they'll show up over there to show you what they'll look like in that window. So try to mimic in a small window what your system would look like. The other thing it allows you to do is, remember where it says place your branding here and all this stuff? Well, if you double-click that area, you can change that to whatever you want to make it. Okay that. Do the same thing here, and then eventually you're going to hit Update Ad Server right here, and that will make these changes. The other thing you can do here is set the resolutions, whether it be full screen, like on this side, the split screen, full screen, and different resolutions for different types of monitors. And some monitors or some TVs can only handle certain things. The other thing, like the tablets, some tablets come specifically set for 1360 by 800 or 1600 by 800, so I added those. I'm going to add a variable resolution so you can mess around with any kind of system, and later I'll probably add an adaptive resolution where it'll look at the system and try to do what it needs to do accordingly. The only bad thing about that is if you don't know what screen resolution you have, when you make these ads, they're going to try to stretch or shrink to fit, which will distort your ads. So it's better to know exactly what those ad sizes are, okay, so that you make your ads, to fit proportionally, so they look nice and clear, and a skinny woman isn't fat, and a fat woman isn't skinny when you put them on the screen, okay? The other thing you can do here, which won't show up here because I haven't run it for very long, is that when I click on an ad, it's going to show me how many days and how many views this thing is run. Basically, how many times it showed up on the screen. Okay? Now, since I just restarted this, it's not going to have anything because it's not been there long enough. The other thing is, see how it has the P underscore, V underscore, and all that stuff? Well, I tried to look at those and tell you how many you have in the system. So we got 2 videos and we got 2 PSAs. And before I did this, it used to be that V stood for a virtual host. Now it stands for video. So I'm going to change that because now that's a paid ad per se. So what I specified for myself is anything that did not have one of these prefixes on must be a paid ad. But that's not true anymore since we now do video. I didn't do video at first. Okay? So I try to give you a little heads up on this kind of stuff. It also shows you the software version that your system out there in the field is running. And it shows you the last time it checked in to the server, lets you know that everything's okay. Now, it's going to check for every 1 hour type of check-ins, even though you have the ability to turn this up to 12 hours for check-ins. And these are special cases. Like, for instance, if you put one of these billboards in like a tablet, and you put it inside like a taxi cab or a bus or a train or whatever, and there's no internet support, well, what you want to do is you want to make it get set up when it first starts, and then never check in all day long. That way it doesn't require internet. So the next day it would it would resync itself with new ads or whatever, or delete the old ads, and then go out in the field and not check anything. This just gives you the ability so you can run it without the internet. Okay. The other thing is the radio mode. If you turn that on or off, I do have it on, but I'd rather turn that off. And what it would do is, if we pick a stream, you can pick some kind of audio test from Shoutcast. We can test it here. Some of these don't work. This person went out of business now, so none of these streams work. I'm about to change those. They were jazz and easy listening, elevator music, all that kind of stuff. So if you do that, what it will do is, while it's running static ads, it will run the stream. The moment it turns on video, it turns the stream off, plays the video, does what it does. When the video's off, it turns the radio back on. So it gives the ability to run ambient music. Now, I use this for a thrift store. We had one in a thrift store in Garland, and they basically use this for all the ambient music for the whole place all day long. Okay? And it's something that somebody wanted, so I added it. It looks like it's not really that important of a deal, so I don't use it anymore. Another feature I added now is that there's special characters now, like these A, B, whatever. If you use a 0 through 4, I think it's 1 through 4 underscore, well, I've given it the ability to do interactive. Okay? Now, I don't have a button here for it, but what it will do is, you can buy a special thing that basically is a USB keyboard that only has numbers on it. In my case, it just has 4 buttons. And those buttons can be programmed to be numbers. And what I wanted to do was make it so that, and I added this code in so it worked down at my restaurant here, so that when we put it up, we put these little buttons up, and I can probably show you what they look like. Let me see if I have one. Let's see if I have one of those guys. Might not have one. Oh no, I do. I have it on a website. I'll show you what it looks like. It's pretty cool. See how the details, interactive. Here we go. See that little thing right there? It's pretty cool. It has a USB connector on one side, and then these 4 lighted buttons, almost like a video game. Software you run to program these things, program one time to set up what these things will act as the keyboard. So I made 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right there, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then all you have to do, and to make a trigger video, is to change that V underscore to a number, like 1 through 4 underscore. Okay? It will not come up in the random set because it's going to ignore those. But when you press that button with your keyboard, with this thing here, or with a keyboard with 1, 2, 3, or 4, it will pull up those videos instantly. Okay, and then when it's done, it goes back to being stuff. All right? Any questions on that stuff? Moving right along. This is a very simple system. I designed this so it wouldn't take a lot of technology. The next thing is, and we're almost down to the nitty-gritty here, is to create an ad. All right, ads are pretty easy. Get yourself a graphic software like this. This is Photo Impact. You can use, I think, Paint. Paint is on all the systems, Windows systems so far. You want to say, basically, you want to do a new ad, and you can do transparent if you want, but I'd use a single color. And for the display ad, you want to make it, if it's full screen, you want to make it 1024 by 615. If it's a split screen where you have the sponsor ad on, you want to make that 960 by 615. And that's only if you're going to use the 1024 by 768 setup. If you use the other one, then you're going to have to, make adjustments for the bigger screen size. Now, the sponsor size stays the same. So the display size changes. let's say we have this. This would be a template, basically. The easiest way to make a nice, easy ad is to find the subject matter that you want to advertise or have someone give it to you, basically. Let's say we want to advertise, I don't know, a Mustang for sale, about a green Mustang. Let's say somebody gave you one of those, and you're trying to sell it for them. Let's see if I can get Mustang right here. Where is Mustang? There we go. Green Mustang. So I'm going to look at these pictures. Let's find a nice picture that's big. Definitely bigger than, the ad we want to create. All right. So here's, let me see. Oh, something that's so cute. Got to pick something that's not that cute to me. I don't even like Mustangs, actually. So here's something big enough. All right. So here's a Ford Mustang GT 500. I'm going to copy that picture. And what I'll do is, I'm just going to paste it into this space. I notice it's too big, so let me just make that a little smaller. No, that's way too big, so let's make it about the same size as this. So let's say it's 960. And it'll fix itself for me. All right, so I can make that. That'll be my background. This is the easiest kind of ad you can make. Picture of the subject matter. Merge it. Just want to merge that right to the screen so it's not movable anymore. And then you can just take your text thing and pick some color. Pick a size for a font. Let's pick something big. Click on here and write for sale. All right, notice how it's sort of flat on the system. So a little trick. If you put a shadow on it with a little short throw, now it doesn't really matter what color it's on top of. You can see that. See how that is? Nice and crispy clear. Okay? Yes, it's being recorded. All right, so we'll say for sale, and then I'll add, let's say, 35,000. I don't know how much it costs. So 35,000. There we go. And you put the number, whatever. Let's say that's your ad. Okay? And of course, you'd have to put the phone number, email, or whatever you want to use. Okay, you can even put a QR code on there if you really wanted to. And here's a little trick. Here's a way to track this ad, which is really cool. If you have a Google account, log into your Google account and go to goo.gl. And they'll create a shortened URL, but it's a trackable URL. So we'll say that we're going to track this, and let's say it goes to this. There's a real website that we go here. I'm just going to take a URL, for instance. So I'll take this URL, put it in my shortener, get a short URL for it, and that'll be my new URL, right? Well, the cooler part about this, too, is that you can also get, I think, if we look at it, the details, you can get the QR code. So I can literally take this QR code, now copy it, and put it on this page. Like that. And now people can just take their phone and scan the ad right off your screen, and it'll take them to wherever that URL that you produced. But what's so cool about it is that you can track how many times it's been clicked, or how many times it's been seen, or somebody used that ad. This information can then go back to your client. This can work for anything, okay? Or you could use this little URL if you wanted. So it's a short URL. We could take that and put it on the website, on the ad. Since it's small, all right, so you can say to somebody, they could go, that's pretty damn big. Yeah, make that smaller. Make that like 60. That's 50. Okay, so we can move this up. Take this and put this down. Like that. Okay? So people could either go to that website, that URL, or they could scan that in, and you could track that they did it for your client. So let me go ahead and save this now. I'm going to save this as a JPEG file. I'm going to put it in my area with my sample ads under down. And let me find my sample ads. And make it a JPEG file, of course. We'll call this Mustang _sale. Now, I never put space in anything, but I don't need to put in a PG, whatever it is, because this is just a static ad. Save it. Done. We go back to the website where we control our ads, find where which system you want to put it in, go in that system where you can see the thumbnails and just say add items. Then we go ahead and we can add it for a few, so we just say browse. Go to that same place we saved it. This is our sample ads. And there's that Mustang ad. You can make a comment if you want. You can say Mustang ad expires, I don't know, for 12/2016, just for your own deal. And then just go ahead and say click add item. All right, so it's in the system. Now if we go back and look at all the files in there, notice there it is. Here's the thumbnail for it. We click it again. You see it, smaller size. Click it again, and that is the real size that's going to come up now. There's the full size. All right, so let's see if it worked. I'm going to minimize all this stuff. I'll go back and run this software. And if everything worked, it's going to pull it right in there. And I was trying to connect to the server. That little G in the corner saying that notice there was a new ad that it needs to pick up. The G in the corner stands for it's a good connection. It'll go away eventually. If there was a problem with the internet, it would come up with a little I for internet. I make it very inconspicuous so that the clients don't see that your system's having a problem. Because it'll run without the internet. It'll run just whatever it has. But you don't want to see. And there's a little white area. See this little area right here? Oh, sorry, I just stopped it. Let me run it again. I just hit the button and close the software out. Hold on. Get it running back again. Watch what button I click up. Click the left button. It's not going to close it off. The right button. Left button and let me pull my mouse up. See right here? See this little. This tells you a whole lot about what's going on in that system. It goes away after a few seconds. So it says the system, the version, how many seconds before it's going to update, what server it's connected to, the timer for video, what video is running, the size for the screen, all that kind of good stuff. It's going to see. Now it's gone away. But if you ever want to bring that back, just hit the H on your keyboard. See it come back. And then 15 seconds later, it'll go away. It's just there for you to see it, to troubleshoot your machine. Like if you're calling me and say something ain't working. See, now it's showing you. Well, it's gone now. And then we wait for a few seconds. That Mustang ad should come up. And remember, after 10 random ads, and it tries to pick a different ad in 60 seconds before that it saw before. So if you only have a few, it's going to try to, jump around. And then over a 30-day period, it tries to make all the ads, show up on the screen for the same amount of time. So I have an algorithm for that. Waiting for the Mustang ad to come up now. This is set for 15 seconds. About twice as long as what you see on the highway, because these are normally done on the inside of restaurants and you know, barbershops, different things like that. You couldn't have moving stuff on the highway. There you go. Look at that. There's your ad. I can scan this directly off the screen. The ad was made that simple. Nice and crispy. And of course, if I click that, I'm out. All right. So that's basically it. There's not much more to it.